Did you know you can actually heal in your dreams? Like the stuff we do in our dreams does heal, does clear our karma, does release trauma. But first, your daily dose of Daisy. So I had a doozy of a dream last night. It's actually really funny. What happened is kind of funny, but it was so deeply healing. And when I tell you and unpack this, this is going to be this kind of wound, this kind of healing is going to be applicable to a lot of you, especially females and femmes who struggled in adolescence with how the world treated you. So there was this long setup to this dream, and I'll kind of cut to the chase. So the short of the setup was there was this huge auditorium and I was being awarded for this thing and I was trying to get a seat. I was trying to find my way. Really, all the specifics of this dream were to annoy me. Like it was just one frustration after another because I needed to be pissed to like work up the energy that I was getting through. So long story short, I ended up having to sit on the floor of this auditorium because no one had saved me a seat, even though the whole thing was literally for me. So I'm pissed, I'm annoyed, I'm sitting on the floor. And in the dream, this man is sitting next to me and he looks down, he takes notice of me, and he starts messing with me in the way that, like, you know, kids will mess with a crush. He was like patting my head and trying to like mess with my hair just to like tease me to get my attention. And I am a grown ass woman, so it pissed me off and I was like, stop. Look who's back. Anyway, so in this dream, his teasing and getting a rise out of me escalates until he finally grabs my foot. Because remember, I'm sitting on the floor. He grabs my foot and spins me around like I'm breakdancing, like flings me on my back and spins me around. And that was the final straw. Now, the ceremony event thing had already begun, but no mind. I stand up and I walk over to him. Now, mind you, I am 5'2". I am taller than nobody. But I grab this man by his ear and I yank him up out of his seat, and he's like a foot taller than me, and I'm still holding his ear. So I say, I'm not yelling, but I'm using a very stern, firm voice, and I say, did I give you permission to touch me? And everyone around us is watching. I think even down on the stage, they were watching, and they were like, what? And I don't care that I'm making a scene. And with all the force in my body, perfectly grounded, perfectly in control, but with all the fury I can muster, I say, did I give you permission to touch me? Did I grant you access to my space and to my body? Keep your hands to yourself. Do not touch me or any woman ever again. And I shoved him back down in his seat by his ear, and I woke up. And I woke up feeling like $1 million. I felt like I had slayed a dragon. I felt on top of the world because what I've been unpacking for a very long time, but especially recently in the past few months, I've been working through a lot of adolescent wounds and the disempowerment that comes, you know, when you're a child and people praise you and value you for many things, for the totality of who you are. And then you become a teenager, you become a young woman, you go through puberty, and suddenly there's only one thing that people care about from you. And you realize that you're not a person anymore. You are an object that people will lie to, manipulate, trick, abuse to have access to you. And if you were at my Rise of the Divine Feminine event, you know about that second archetype that came through, she who does not have a name. Ever since I did that channeling, I've been working with that archetype, and I've been working with reclaiming my voice, not in general. I clearly have reclaimed my voice. I am a public figure. I speak out with power, but reclaiming her voice, the aspect of myself that was suppressed and got lost during that time. And I think for a lot of years, I mean, you've seen me be spicy, Gia. I have that part of self that I am in touch with. But in my real life, I don't go walking around like clapping back at fools, you know? For the most part, I'm very respectable. I'm very mature. I let things roll off my back. But for a lot of years, it's almost like I've been, you know, someone give me a reason. Someone give me a reason. I've been waiting my whole life for the opportunity to speak to that injustice, to grab some idiot by his ear and to speak my truth and to shut it down. And you know, I've talked a lot when I talk about healing here. And I say, there are so many of us in life who don't get to say the thing to the person who hurt us. That's common in life. And so healing gets to be very tricky when we can't have the hard conversation and be witnessed and be heard. But me having this experience in dreams reminds me that this is often how it's done. We do experience things in dreams that are a way for us to enact it, to make the scene and to say the thing and to stand in our power. Even when life hasn't given us that choice, we can still have that moment where we get to work through it and be in our power and come to the end of that experience, which is what I've been saying karma is. Karma is unfinished business. It's not punishment. It's not that we have to, toil and pay for our sins. It's that we have wounding, we have anger, trauma, we have this sticky, unfinished business. And we need a chance to work through the stories to bring them to completion. And that feels like what this dream gave me the opportunity to do, is to bring that adolescent girl screaming into the void, awakening to the injustices of the world, to how women are treated, to how people are objectified. And I got my moment to be the adult woman in power, speaking truth, having my voice heard, and being in that full force of my power. And it was deeply healing, deeply healing. So as you go through this shadow work journey, just remember that there are many ways that our souls will provide us with healing opportunities, even mystical ones. We won't always get to have the conversation or do the thing or, yell at our boss or some of the things that as responsible adults we don't do. We engage in self-preservation. But this time is so important for clearing out our karma and finishing out old stories, that we are being given ways, unique ways, funny ways. This dream is kind of funny. Without all the healing, it was kind of funny. So we're being given opportunities to work through it and to clear it out. So just know that if you feel like you're not doing it or you're not going to make it, like, your soul is working overtime. You are doing it. You are making it. Just be willing and to work through whatever presents itself, whether you're awake or you're asleep, and we're going to make it.